Fnaf the week before released on September 3rd, which means it's the week of the week before. Well, technically it's the week after the week before. And we all know the week after the week before is the week. The week of Fnaf 1. I've said week so many times it doesn't sound like a word anymore. And we're like 10 seconds into the video. Anyways, the week before is out and it has tons of juicy, delicious lore for this ravenous community. You may have heard that it reveals information about Fnaf 4's original Fredbears, the Fnaf 2 bite, the Fnaf 1 Easter eggs, but what you haven't heard yet is what it has to tell us about sister location. I am Candy Bunny, and here's why the Fnaf 1 location is connected to the sister location bunker. Minor spoilers for the week before ahead. Sister location really broke the mold for Fnaf games because you're no longer just stuck in your office or room, fending off animatronics as they approached. You were out in the thick of it, army crawling through vents, sneaking through the Ballora gallery, and making your way through all these rooms where in other games you had only seen them on the cameras. And we all remember the sister location breaker room map when Scott decided to casually drop that the Fnaf 4 Crying Child minigame house, Fredbear's Family Diner, the Fnaf 4 gameplay house, and the Fnaf 4 plush trap minigame hallways are connected to the sister location bunker, and that they're all distinct buildings linked by cameras and wiring and possibly underground passages. Well, now we can add another location that Willie Afton has his eyes on from his creepy mad scientist bunker, the Fnaf 1 location. In the week before, Ralph, the phone guy, is in the Fnaf 1 location the week before Michael Afton. And like sister location, when we play as Ralph, we also are walking around in the thick of it. Unlike in Fnaf 1, we can wander the halls with Ralph and discover all sorts of secrets of the building that you can't see from the cameras. Particularly in Night 4, Ralph discovers the presence of large vents that connect the building, so big that even the animatronics can crawl into them to chase him. These are very reminiscent of the vents in Into the Pit, and the vents in Sister Location, and Security Breach, and Ruin. Really, venting has become a staple of Fnaf these days. Anyways, Ralph can use these vents to get around in a little more safety than walking around the restaurant, but they are still dangerous. Animatronics can still fit down there. And there's also the issue of getting lost. Hold up. Lost? When you first crawl into the vents on Night 4, if you take a right, Ralph will begin to get lost. Reading from the book, the deeper you go, the more turned around you get. You realize too late that you should have tried to keep track of which turns you made. If only you had some string or breadcrumbs to help you find your way back to the security office. You crawl and crawl and crawl until you're too tired to crawl anymore. Haven't you been in here for days? The restaurant must have opened by now, but you haven't heard any people, and they must not hear you either. Tired, parched, and starving, you push away your fear of animatronics and bang and shout for someone to help. Even an animatronic tracking you would be a welcome sight right now. At the end, you cling to the memory of your daughter. I'm sorry, Capellia. You croak through cracked and peeling lips. Management knows you must have crawled into the security office vent, yet no one ever finds and recovers your body. At least you are never forgotten. Occasionally, a customer will catch a whiff of you in the air and wrinkle their nose and say, "What is that horrible smell? Did something die inside the walls?" Staff like to tell the stories about the security guard who vanished to new employees, so they know they should never ever crawl into a vent. Long after you're gone, your cautionary tale saves many lives. What? If Ralph was in the Mega Pizzaplex, or even just a regular mall, this would make some sense, but it's revealed for sure in the week before that the Fnaf 1 Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place is a standalone building. And yet bro is crawling around in this place for days like it's the underground catacombs of Paris. And I would be inclined to think he's exaggerating how long he's stuck in the vents, but it's implied he dies of dehydration, which at minimum takes a few days to kill you. He is so far from people he cannot be heard banging, shouting, yelling, and he cannot hear the sounds of the pizza place, which I know from experience that Chuck E. Cheese is not a quiet place, and the sound would no doubt carry pretty well in the vents. All this to say, this vent is enormous. Ridiculously enormous. He's clearly very far from the building at this point, and I think you see where I'm going. Ralph is crawling towards Circus Baby's entertainment and rental, the sister location bunker. Where else? Where else could a vent connected to Freddy's be leading? If he was crawling around in a sewage pipe, he could be anywhere in the city, but a vent does not connect to other parts of town like a sewage pipe would. It's self-contained within a building, and yet somehow Ralph has left the building in the vents. And we know Afton has connected the sister location bunker to many other areas around town through secret passageways. Now you might be saying, sure, it's plausible, but it's not backed up by any other evidence in the franchise. He could just as well be crawling towards Fredbear's Family Diner, or Junior's for all we know. Wrong. There is other evidence. Listen to this.
So, funny story. A dead body was found in this vent once. Okay, so not that funny, but it's a story.
Thank you, angsty teenager. You hear that? Another dead body has been found in this vent. Oh, but Candy, this isn't the canon ending of the week before. Ralph doesn't die in the vent, so there's no body. Wrong again. Because you know what Ralph finds in the vents? Bones. human bones. Ralph is 100% in the sister location vents, which are connected to the Fnaf 1 location. Bada bing, bada boom. Now that I've won you over with my infallible logic and stunning eloquence, let's discuss the implications. The biggest question this leaves is, where is this tunnel on the breaker room map? I think we could have a few answers. Number 1, this tunnel was constructed after Mike went to the sister location bunker and so is not yet on the map. Number 2, Scott did not plan that far ahead. It's not there because at the time he didn't think sister location would be connected to Fnaf 1. Number 3, the Fnaf 1 location is Fredbear's Family Diner and therefore is on the map. That last one would be hilarious because many people believe the Fnaf 6 location is the original Fredbear's, and obviously the Mega Pizzaplex from Security Breach is built over the Fnaf 6 location, which would mean the original Fredbear's, the MCI killing location, the Fnaf 1 location, the Fnaf 6 location, and the Mega Pizzaplex are all built on the same cursed location, like some sort of Indian burial ground type shenanigans. Personally, I think it should be that reason for the comedy alone. But let's discuss the other implication of Fnaf 1 and sister location being connected that truly delights me. When Afton performed the MCI, we know the cameras caught him in the yellow bunny suit, leading kids into the back room. And what drives me up the wall is that sure, there's no cameras in the safe room, the killings themselves weren't recorded, but if they caught him going into the room on camera, why can't they catch him going out of the room on camera? Well, maybe he also left in the yellow rabbit suit, but the suit makes it back eventually. How are they not able to figure out what employee had the suit at the time of the MCI murders? He had to put it on and off at some point. Even if that point was outside the restaurant, he had to get the suit and put it back at some point. How did he avoid detection? Well, now we know. He vented, and he very likely vented all the way from his secret little bunker. That's how he can get away with so many killings. He's got the perfect alibi. He was at Circus Babies the whole time. And this explains why on earth the vents were made big enough for animatronics to fit through. It's because sneaky old Willie designed them to be big enough for him in the spring Bonnie suit. So, your thoughts? Please put them in the comments because I know this one is a little out there. If you want to like and subscribe as well, I'm just growing this channel and one like or one sub makes a huge difference. And honestly, it makes my whole day. I have been Candy Bunny and I have candy all day. Candy, candy, candy.